Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shawn Walsh Show. And you guys are getting a bonus here today because you're getting part 2 of my interview with Andrew, aka Fisk, which has received quite some praise, and it's going to get all so much better for part 2. Save the best for last. But before we get there, of course, I gotta go talk about what the whole call world, or at least in my comments, is talking about, and that's this little drama with Brent Harvenator, Burb, amongst other people in call. However, I promised everyone that I would not be alone today, as I have Jay with me.
Hi.
And much to the surprise of everyone, including myself, we have a little bit of a party.
We do. Everyone say hi.
Oh.
See, we're trying to...
What are you
Now, the party we're going to put a little timeout on because unfortunately we got to address some of the responses of Brent Harvenator.
Who, by the way, the 14-year-old.
He did. Now, Brent Harvenator, in his first response on the D-Wall video, it's funny he acknowledged that it was mentioned, but Jay, did he deny it?
He didn't actually. All he said was, "You have no proof." That was it. I don't hear like, "Oh, I don't fuck a 14-year-old." What are you talking about?
I mean, I hear he didn't fuck a 14-year-old, and I just think, and Bill Cosby didn't rape those girls. So, well, I don't know. You tell me, Brent. And Brent apparently has a new catchphrase here in Call Wrestling, and that is, since we wanted to poke the bear. Jay, would you poke a bear?
That'd be very dangerous.
I have a bear that casually every couple weeks comes to my yard. Yeah, I wouldn't poke that. No, that I would...
Maggle.
Yeah. I would lose more than a finger. I would probably be dead. You don't poke bears. That's just stupid.
That's very dangerous, Brent. Why would you suggest that?
But I think he's trying to imply, don't do that because he's the bear.
Oh, I get it. He's a bear. You mean that gay thing? The gay guys? Oh, okay.
He's got his own porn section.
Oh.
Man. Fucks 14-year-olds and a bear?
Alright. Brett, you're kinky. You're a tiger.
Man. The things people do. Nitro, is this the kind of thing that happens in Australia?
Oh my god, man, you're seriously asking me that?
Well, I don't live in Australia, so I don't know.
Oh my god.
Do they even have bears in Australia?
This shit doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, so it's only Brent.
Do they have bears in Australia?
So, Brent, you're a freak.
Species down here, but it doesn't fucking happen.
So, let's see. And he was so kind to make a diss at Ray Geddes, a diss that Ray's never heard before, that he's a Stone Cold Steve Austin ripoff. Oh, shit.
You don't say.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what? Wait, you're kidding me?
He said he threw it out there. First person ever to call Ray a Stone Cold Steve Austin ripoff.
No, wait, hold up. That shit's original. There's no way he took that from Steve Austin.
So legit.
Never. Oh, God.
You know what, Bert Harvenator? I mean, you, sir,
that's almost like
detective.
saying... Yeah, that's almost like saying Nate the Great is not Razor Ramon. I mean...
Oh, I know.
That's like saying M. Accuracy is in the Joker.
Like...
Well, he is.
It's like saying J-Crack isn't a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like saying Fisk totally isn't Bane.
Like, you know...
Okay.
Fine. Brent... He likes to think of himself as a call legend, so I mean he does come up with these original things all by himself.
Call legend, really?
Well, he thinks he is, but
what's a dude? You're a character. That's it. How are you a call legend? You're a video game.
So, but this continues. So he addressed what Cash you were talking about with the whole CCL thing, which he said he quit CCL after he lost the title because he didn't agree how it was done. He's been waiting to leave after the horrible feud he had with Smokey. If anything, it was poorly executed and was painful to watch, was no fault of his own. He still has the inboxes as proof of that, so kindly stop pretending that we know anything on that matter. If we think Aaron Alexander was the better heel, then go for it. He's a generic nothing heel, but he didn't want to be heel anyway. Cash, what would you say to Brent in that regards?
Oh.
I mean,
Did you watch ScyberSlam?
and guys, I guess like anyone who has been on my show or anyone who was on the last show or whatever, I guess we are all now AWF tards because he so kindly put that together as a clever insult, you know.
I think that's kind of a take of when I called him a cotard.
Sir, first off, I have diabetes, okay? So you calling me a tard is very offensive.
And I'm Polish, and that just offends me regardless.
I'm a recovering alcoholic, and fuck this place.
And he says he thinks he's better than yous, as he said, because when he talks shit, he can back it up. He actually thinks he's better than us because he doesn't run a call show with 15-minute creations.
Brent,
he does have a point there.
Brent, a long time ago. Brent, I'm sorry. You can shit on the fact that these are 15-minute creations, but you know what? It still gets enough views, and we don't feel like spending 30 minutes to an hour working on one kick pad design for one guy's left leg, and you know that just sucks the fun out of it, dude. I don't want to spend 3 hours making one guy's paint tool. I don't want to spend an hour and a half or at least 2 hours making one guy, and then be like, oh, okay, that's one guy down. I have 35 more to go.
Dude, you're fucking lazy, man. What the fuck? This guy actually puts effort into his shit, and all you can do is just sit here and complain.
Oh, right.
That you have to actually put forth effort.
Yeah, no, it's not like I don't have a life or anything. No,
you don't. Straw is your life, sir.
Right?
How dare you have a job? How dare you have employment?
And let's just it doesn't matter about the cause, it matters about how you actually put those cause into an interesting story.
Oh, and that's funny too, because I've heard people been saying how boring he is.
Dude, okay, Brett Harviner, my name's Jay Craig. I'm the guy who has been calling you a pedophile the entire time now. I guarantee you, I could cut a 5-minute promo. No. Make that a minute promo, and I guarantee you, it'll be far more interesting and entertaining than you'll ever say in any federation.
That's true.
Because let's face it, Brent, I am the most entertaining man called today, Jay Craig, and also, I didn't fuck a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Now, that is... And Brent also had a response there for D-Wall, and I'm not going to read it because it's super long, and it's hurting my eyes just looking at it. So you guys can go read it for yourself. He talks all about blah, 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 and having all this proof. He claims to have a lot of proof, and he doesn't show any of it. But it's whatever. But then it continues... Whatever. So it continued, because on part 1 that came out yesterday, it's funny, this came out about 6 in the morning, because that was the earliest I could get it out, and not even, 2 hours later, I'm getting told that Brent Harvinator and Burb, who also had some words to talk about, they were all up in the comment section with big responses and everything, and I'm like...
It's clear that we're very under the skin. It's obvious.
They didn't like what we had to say. So, I mean, and hey, whatever. I invited you to go give a response. That's fine. You gave me, a whole book. Come on. I don't want to read through your shit all the time,
now,
but...
Shawn.
Yeah?
Did you not offer Mr. the 14-year-old to be on the show?
I did.
And he said no.
He did. I gave him the invitation. I messaged him, and I even on the air gave him the open invitation to set up an appearance in the Shawn Walsh Show where he could clear his name, he could show his side of the story. And, you know, maybe some of the things we have differences on, we can go and talk about it on there. And he said no. So, I'm sorry, folks who were looking to see Brent on the Shawn Walsh Show, but he said no. And there's not much I can do about it once he says no. But I can talk about what he has to say, because even though he talks about how, you know, he's not going to say anything else and whatever, he still carried on with a lot of things to say. He talked about all that kinds of crap I was talking about. And Burb. Burb. Now, for people who are not familiar, Burb was the bitch I talked about in the beginning of the episode, and Burb was acting as she normally does, high in glory. And
Burb, now, I understand that you're a female. Can you please do me a favor and send me nudes to my Facebook account, JCraig? If you can, that'll be great. Now, I understand that you're over 18, so it's better. Now, if you're ugly, never mind.
Also, this Ladies Man Productions, I don't know who this is, so I'm not going to say anything too much to the fact, because I don't know who you are, but you did point out why we have waited all these years to come on the Ben Hitman page, and maybe I didn't make it clear, but I will now. The edits on the Ben Hitman page specifically, most of which were made in years past. That is correct. However, Brent Harvinator on July 6th, which is 2 days after the D-Wall episode went up, made edits to the Ben Hitman page, apparently as some kind of way to get back at me because he removed links. Oh shit, he went on Call Wikia and edited a page I haven't touched in 2 years. Oh my god, what a way to get back at me.
So here's the thing, the only way they can get back at us is through Call. They think in their heads that Call is the most important thing to us. That's the only way to get
back. It is. It is, though. Come on. You gave up the sacrificed your job, your livelihood, girlfriends, getting laid for this shit. I mean, I should be ashamed of myself for even considering having a girlfriend and being in Call at the same time.
You should. Oh, how dare we? Oh my god.
How dare I?
Brent, this is gonna sound shocking to you, but there's more to life than just Call.
And wrestling in general.
Oh, and Burb, one thing you pointed out in your very lengthy response.
Just clear you're mad at us.
Yeah, and you talked about how you tried to justify the reason why you removed pages of the AWF and other shows, but you use AWF specifically because that's my show. Because when you said apparently when you search AWF, you don't find the Call show. So how do you know if it's an offline fed, if it exists, if it's whatever? Well, Burb, I don't know if you know this, but Call Wrestling isn't exactly getting millions of views. So most of the time, when you type those three little letters in, whatever show it is, you're not going to find it. Type in DWA. Tell me how many pages it gets to you actually find a DWA episode. Type in new WWE. Oh, I'd love to know how many pages you get to an actual new WWE episode.
Apparently she doesn't know how to use a basic search engine.
Yeah,
not even fucking CCL gets like the first page.
No, here's the thing. It's Call, all right. So yeah, you might get like 200 views, but don't act like that's a super big deal. You're celebrating pure mediocrity right now.
And for me, type in AWF, type the word Call after like you do for every other Call Call League. The only call shows you might not have to do that is like No DQ,
SCAW,
and SCAW, and maybe SMF. You might have to wait a page. But other than that, you got to put the word call after it. Type in AWF call. Guess what? Lots of AWF episodes on there. So there's proof of my show existing. So your argument is invalid. And you talk about how, look how Call All-Stars has become, and apparently because the page has 133 subscribers, which is growing. Explain to me why the Call All-Stars Facebook page has gained over 130 likes this year alone. We're only halfway through the year. So explain that. We're at 216 likes last I checked, and it's still growing. It's got a like yesterday. So that just goes to show you right there. And apparently because I just randomly went out of the blue and called you out who had nothing to do with it, maybe I should go call out Aaron Riff, Dr. Pizza, Super Dingoes, Wade Needham.
Now here's the thing though. They did nothing to Shawn whatsoever.
Did nothing to me. I go in the editorial on Call Wiki. Yeah, I don't see Aaron Riff edited my stuff. I don't see the Super Dingoes. In fact, I talked to the Super Dingoes. I talked to SMF just last week, and I had a fine conversation with them because they're just regular people. But you guys don't see it that way, unfortunately.
Matter of fact, did you also get to talk to Zachary Dackery and Nick McMichaels?
I talked to Nick McMichaels. I didn't talk to Zachary Dackery. Wait, actually, no, I did. You're right. I did talk to him.
Now,
which they said they were going to be in Call All-Stars, by the way.
Now, here's one thing I've noticed about Berg and Brett Harvinator. We went on a call shoot, right? And from what I understand, these guys are not well-liked whatsoever.
No. Man, like, they have a couple fans still there, but a lot of them don't like him anymore. Like, I just mentioned the name Brent Harvinator. Didn't have so many kind words.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So, Brent, Burr, whatever you guys want to do, and yeah, maybe some of the things that have been said, maybe from a little while ago, but guess what? A couple years ago, the Shawn Walsh show wasn't around. I didn't have the platform to do so, and now I do. And now I can enlighten not just past members of the Call community, but the current member of the Call community, or the Rooks, as I call them, to stay away from people like you and not be stupid fuckers like you guys. So, if you guys want to go and do your stupid shit and be like, oh, I know how to use Paint Tool, go ahead.
If you want to edit our wiki page, especially mine, because every time I type stuff in and I post it, you always delete it, go on ahead. By all means, do it. We really don't care because Call isn't the most important thing in our lives right now. It isn't.
No.
I mean, we got...
Oh, yes it is, sir. You are not allowed in this business unless you make it your fucking life job.
The Call Bible.
The Call Bible.
Steve, you're lucky I love you.
Don't worry, I love me too.
Now, Brent, now, we could drop this, we could bury the hatchet. I know I won't because I'm an asshole like that, and I really don't like you guys at all. Now, I'm looking forward to a response, but most importantly, I want to hear, Brent, I really want to hear, because this subject has always bothered me, and I keep bringing it up. Did you or did you not fuck a 14-year-old?
It's a yes or no question.
See, yes or no question. You keep dodging it. You know what? I wouldn't mind have a one-on-one Skype call with you. If you pay me right now, or whenever you hear this, you know, by all means, we'll talk about it. I would like to hear it. I'll try my best not to troll you, right? And
no guarantees.
No guarantees.
Keyword, try.
No guarantees, but I'm willing to hear you out, okay? That's all I want to hear, man, because I heard a story, and I'm curious.
But let's not be surprised if nothing happens, because he said no to being on the Shawn Walsh show, and apparently he's done. He's not going to watch no more.
We'll see about this episode right here.
Oh, yeah. What a sad discovery.
Oh, I know. So, as far as I see it, since you said no, and Burb, the invitation obviously goes to you, but I'm figuring you're going to jump on the Brent bandwagon and say no as well, because you know
you're
exactly
both cowards and you can't really take confrontation whatsoever.
Yeah, so me, I'm done. I said all I have to say. You want to keep talking? Go ahead. I already gave you the invitation to talk more with me, but you said no. So, sorry, that's the end of this. And now I feel I've done enough talking about Brent and Burb. I'm already starting to forget their names. So, let's go send it off to a guy who's going to tell me why he does his promos with his back to the camera. I never understood that.
Or cliffhanger of all cliffhangers.
Or why he talks like this every time he cuts a promo.
So, Andrew, why don't you tell us, why do you do that?
ACW.
So you did this from the beginnings of Fisk?
Yeah, this was from the very beginning.
And it's just something that you've
kept. It was something I did because I did not want to show my face. I mean, I showed my face on camera before as different gimmicks, but I did not want the Fisk character to show his face. And you're thinking, why don't you just cut a promo with a mask? I do not own a Hannibal Lecter type mask. So, that's the best I can do. But I don't think I change it because it's become my thing. It's become something I'm known for. And if it's broken, then why fix it? I mean, if it ain't broke,
if
why
it's
fix
not
it?
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I fucked it up. It's 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's really become my thing. And a lot of people at first were like very iffy on it, but now I think it's something where that's the Fisk thing. With Pain, people are like, okay, change your fucking gimmick. This is Andrew's thing. And I am also one of those people like, okay, yeah, this is my thing. Stop. So.
Have you ever seen anyone else, besides Pain, do that with their gimmick, whether they have a mask or not, where they have their back to the camera and they just do it like that? Or is that just something you decided to do yourself?
I remember Scott's promo in TCF where he was making fun of me doing that.
I don't mean him making fun of you.
Hello?
We've
Can
all
anyone hear me? I don't think I have. Now, there probably is someone, but I can't recall.
So from your perspective,
the closest I can think of is when Travis was doing the vignettes for Kingpin.
But that was after.
And that never happened. But that was after. Beforehand, no. And, funny story, because when I met up with Alex, and I found out who actually was behind the Kingpin gimmick, I was like, that shocked me. Wasn't who we thought, I'll just say that. But a lot of people ask me, and I don't know if this is like a fan-submitted question that you may have gotten, but I'm going to bring it up. It's like, will the Fisk character ever unmask? Would I ever take the mask off? And,
nope, it's glued to your face.
Yeah. I'd only lose the mask in COH. COH would be the only show in which I would do that. AWF, I'd keep the mask on. ECF, I'd keep the mask on. Any other show I'd go to, I'd keep the mask on. COH just seems to be the place where if people want to try something new, they do it there.
Well, okay, now let's say, for example, like in COH, you're like, my name is Kane, I take my mask off and stuff like that, and I wear a suit. Which Corporate Fisk, my idea, and you better do it one day. Also Groove Master Fisk. But
so that's a TCF exclusive.
Everybody groove. Everybody move. Alright. You take the mask off in COH, right? Does that mean in AWF and in ECF, like, you saying that you wouldn't unmask those, would like, the next episode, would, like, Fisk come out, like, just, I don't know, the next Uprising, and afterwards, would he come out without the mask?
No.
Or would he just, I got the mask on?
I'd keep it where it would just be COH. I don't know how that would work But COH is the only show where I want to take the mask off.
And would you just do it where you're unmasked? Oh, it's the horrifying face of Fisk. My God, that mouth.
I could.
Or would you do it where all of a sudden you're showing up oh, I don't look at my face, but your face is there, or oh, well, you see my face, but I put the mask back on.
See, if I unmasked, I'd do it where the first couple of weeks would be like Kane. I wouldn't do, oh, my face is ugly. I'd have a towel over my head. I'd be very angry. I'd attack everybody in sight. But eventually, I'd get used to it. And I would either put it back on or go a while with it off. When I was talking to Alex, when I met up with him in, I think it was April or May. I don't quite remember.
It was May.
It was May? I brought up the idea of what if I ever took the mask off in COH, and he gave me some advice that I really took into consideration. It's like, if you do that, because you've always had your back to the camera. Now that if you put your mask off, you'd obviously be facing the camera now, and you'd really need to sell the facial expressions and the body language, because that's how Alex, in a way, got over, because you look at his face and you look at his body language, and you can tell that he's into the character, that he legit is emotional about what he's talking about. I feel I can do that, but it's definitely going to be a challenge now, because now I'm going to have to put all this into my facial expressions if I ever took my mask off. And I'd have to look legitimately angry and not just this hood, facing the other way.
Yeah.
It would be a challenge that I'd be up for. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think it would be something that I'd only do in COH, but I wouldn't be opposed to doing it down the road.
Right.
Not anytime soon, but down the road.
Some good advice that he gave you. That's really good. Another example is how when Kane took the mask off. Since Kane, I know he couldn't. When he had the mask, he couldn't use his facial expressions. But once he took it off, one thing he always used those facial expressions, which really made that unmasked gimmick that he did when he first took it off. It really sold it because of the facial expressions that he could give. Something that you should do if that comes.
And if I took it off, I'd make it a big thing. I wouldn't just be like, oh, he took his mask off. I would make it a big fucking thing. So, but I think that's to be expected now. I wouldn't just be like, hey, Stephanie McMahon, here's my mask. Next week I'm Corporate Kane. Wouldn't do that.
Why not? That'd be great. Fisk can wear a suit.
No, we're not doing that.
Why not? I made the attire.
Not in the COH. No one wants to see that.
But Fisk could look pretty dashing in a suit.
I already look dashing with my, the blazer and the green shirt.
Yeah, the commish.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that.
Oh, I do.
IWA.
You should bring that back.
I don't have a blazer anymore. I can't.
Music and everything. Oh, God, that's a beaut. Unfortunately, some of you won't ever get to see it because this one decided to put them all on private.
Yeah. All right. What were we discussing before I went into this tangent on the mask?
Yeah, before you went on the whole thing. We were talking about you having your back to the camera.
Oh yeah, that.
But yeah, we got the answers to that and also more. Now, with Fisk from there, he became the Pride Champion. Everyone's like, yay, Fisk, isn't it? He joins the Accurate Enterprise, and it's like, oh yeah, pretty cool. So you're the fourth member of the Accurate Enterprise. And it was supposed to be the beginnings of, alright, Fisk is a major player now. He's on Battleground. He's in the biggest group in the company. And he's a top guy. You fear the Punisher. And that was what was originally meant to happen. It didn't exactly go that way. I feel as if it was because you had your undefeated streak, but you were fighting top guys. They couldn't lose, but neither could you, which made you look bad. They were fine, but it made you look bad. And your Pride title reign, which was meant to restore honor,
everyone thought I was finally going to be the one to break the curse, and it didn't. And by the end of it, at least around the end of it, people were saying I was a champion, so you know.
Yeah, you were supposed to be that guy.
And no one really blamed me. They blamed the booking.
Travis took the blame himself when talking.
Because I was, except for a couple of shows where I was dealing with some personal problems, I was trying to send in a promo like every couple of shows, and I was active on the page. I was trying to make this title reign the best I could, and I think the issue is
you weren't feuding with anyone.
From Ready to Rumble to Anniversary, I didn't have a singles feud. I tried to get one started because, remember, it was me and Scott against Future Flight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to push for a singles match with Morris or Kevin at Anniversary for the Pride title. And I think when I won the title, Travis should have done away with the Pride title rule. Because if I was going to be, fighting these top guys, I think if I defended my championship against one of them, it would have brought legitimate more prestige to the title. I don't think he should have waited until Sonny won it. I think he should have dropped it when I won the belt.
Right.
Because if I fought Cross for the Pride title at Anniversary, that would have been big. And I remember on night 3, I wasn't booked at all. I had to legit convince Travis to just throw in an open challenge on there for the title. And, then I got into my feud with Great D, which I think you can take the reins from here.
Yeah, let's talk about the feud with the Great D. Now, there's a lot of criticism as to how the Great D's initial run, as he recently returned the Call of Honor, and oops, if I spoiled it for you, ooh, too bad. The Great D, his initial run is not talked about very highly amongst people because the Great D, for whatever reason, whether it be personal reasons, whether it be just because he didn't feel like it, I don't know. It's for the Great D to know. But he was not very active. He was not sending in promos and whatnot, but he was highlighted very heavily. He obviously had a bit of a follow-in from CCL, and Travis, knowing that, gave him a big spot right away. He was already presented as a big deal. He didn't really have to earn anything, and he was immediately put into the Pride title picture, which I was not shocked by.
I will get into that.
So, before we get to the match at Ultimate Glory, what were your thoughts on feuding with the Great D for the Pride Championship?
Well, it was common knowledge by everybody that the original plan was that Great D was going to beat me at Ultimate Glory, end my streak, take my title. And from the minute that I knew about this, I was not happy about it. And the entire time I was not happy about it. Because I think Great D is really good when he cuts promos and stuff. I mean, he's just got that, that voice, And, what I've seen from him, I've liked his work. But I don't think he should have won a belt immediately. And I was saying this in my promos a lot going into this match. Because I tried to make this match more personal, where I kept saying I refuse to lose my title and all this year's work to someone from CCL who just waltzes into this company and takes everything away from me. And I just thought, I don't think I should be losing to someone that just came in. And I think with Ray, I think this is Travis's way of doing the Great D thing, but correctly. Because Ray, yeah, he's being pushed to the main event, but he's not winning the world title right away. He's not taking people's spots necessarily. He's in a role he should be, but he's not instantly the top guy of the company, like Travis was trying to do with Great D for the Pride title division.
Mm-hmm.
And with the feud, it was the Amir feud all over again. Great D cut one promo. I cut, I think, 3 or 4 on him. I did one at Ultimate Glory, which a lot of people seem to really like, which thank you for that.
That's your best one.
But I tried to make it where I didn't want to end my reign bad, and I at least wanted that to, end it with the lackluster Pride title reign, because, like, we really hadn't had a decent champ since Blair. Rockstone started off good, and then became inactive, so it ended really sourly. Amir didn't really do anything. And then me, I was cutting the promos, I wasn't really getting the focus. And yeah, there were a lot of important stuff going on, and a lot of other feuds, but, I mean, I still felt that the Pride title meant something, and I tried to push in my promos that the Pride title does mean something, and it's not a joke. I'm going to prove that. And when I cut that promo in Ultimate Glory, I cut that before I knew I was retaining. I cut that promo still thinking I was going to lose the title. Mm-hmm. And then Travis changed plans, and I ended up beating him.
Which was a interesting surprise.
Shocked the fuck out of me.
Me too. I was a little surprised by that. I was a little side story. I was partially kind of knew it was going to happen, because when I was talking with Steve.
Yeah, when you were holding up the goddamn show.
How was I holding up the show?
You were distracting the people that needed to submit stuff for the show.
To submit. Oh, because we were hanging out, going to White Castle and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Every day. I mean, you'd be there, and we'd be in calls, and Travis would like say something to Carol, and Carol would be like, "Well, I want Ultimate Glory to be up, but it's being held up by Sacco." And then Nitro took that seriously. That was fucking hilarious.
I didn't know.
He's like, "What the fuck, Sacco?"
Yeah. You guys screw. Yeah. But I was talking with Steve about stuff, about storyline stuff, and I'm not going to go into what we were talking about. It doesn't even matter anyway, because it's dead.
You're the circle jerkers, though.
I know. Me knowing something about a storyline. Oh, jeez. But we were talking, and he said that, how was such and such going to happen with Fisk now retaining the title? And I was like, wait, what? Fisk is retaining the title? Cause
that was news to me. I was like, what? I'm winning?
It was very much news to me, because this is like right after I met him for the first time down in Orlando, and I was still in Florida, but I was talking to him on the phone. Like, we were on Facebook, I think, and I was talking about that. And I remember that Saturday, when I was with Travis, it was just me and him in the car, I asked Travis, I was like, Steve, I was told that, that Fisk has now retained the title. Now, Travis worked me, okay? He was like, Steve told you that? Huh. And sold it that you were still losing.
God damn it, Travis.
And I was like, what do I believe? I don't know. So I remember telling you, I was like, I don't know, you might win, you might not. And then you won. I was like, holy balls, Travis worked me. And
I think that match was exactly how it should have been. Because people described it as a squash match, but it really wasn't. It showcased me as a dominant Pride champ, and it showed that I will not let someone just walk in here and take this belt from me. And everything about that night, I think, was just one of the best nights for the Fisk gimmick ever. The promo, the special theme in Titantron, which Travis used on Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I felt it worked for the return. But I was like, yes, the new attire, it was great. I actually won the fucking match. But I was confused, because I knew at least what I was doing at the beginning of next season at the time. And I was like, well, how is this going to work with the Pride title? And I figured I'm probably going to drop it on the draft show. And going into this, I kept saying, okay, because my original thing going in, there were two people I always wanted to drop the title to. TJP or Copeland. Copeland retired, so, that was thrown out of there, even though we all thought it was a swerve.
I thought it was a swerve, too.
We all thought he was just going to turn heel on Zayn, and then Zayn left, too, so it's like, whoa, okay, everyone's gone now. But it was one of those two, and I was like, okay, I want it to be the Prophet. And then, Travis obviously tells me, you're going to issue an open challenge and you're going to lose the title. And in that promo, which I really like, but a lot of people, well, at least some on, the Ask FM, have criticized me that I was trying to make it too much like a work shoot. The thing with that is, I was trying to sound as arrogant as humanly possible to just set up for the fact that I'm going to be losing this championship.
Yeah.
And if it came off like that, I'm sorry. But I just tried to do it like that. And, of course, Lester beats me for the title.
Oh.
Because we all thought, and again with Sonny, great guy. But, we all thought you were winning Money in the Bank.
You gotta make him look real strong.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, give him the Superman punch. We all thought he was winning Money in the Bank. And we were like, fuck no. Don't do this. And then Scott won, so we were like, okay. And we couldn't avoid it for a third time. Because Sonny, this little shit messages me.
This little shit.
Knowing full well he's winning the title. And he's like, oh, so who are you going to drop the title to? Oh. It's like, interesting. I don't know who you're going to drop it to, but, interesting how it's going to work considering that you're going the Pride title. Oh, and something like that. And then you messaged me later in the day saying, yeah, Sonny's going to beat you for the belt. I'm like, this little shit messaged me earlier today acting like he didn't fucking know what he was doing.
Well, I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Well, acting like that. And then, right when the show comes up, he sends me a smiley face emoticon. It's like, I'm gonna curb stomp this kid.
You say this kid, yeah, he's like 2 months older than you. And he's bigger than you.
Well, when he's cutting those promos on the track, he can just remember that, Fisk is still coming for him.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh.
Just joking, Sonny. Send me that goddamn promo already.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Now, one thing that has recently occurred is the face turn for Fisk. Now,
the long-awaited.
Yes. And now, some people probably have only heard a little bit about it.
Huh, I sure did.
Yeah. I was in your ear very much for many months.
Good 6-8 months. Everyone was not shutting the fuck up. Turn the fuck face. Turn the fuck face. Turn the fuck face. And at first I was like, no, it won't work. But then I got to thinking, and I'm like, actually, this could work if done right. And I know you did it in the off.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a precursor of what. But now I'm feuding with Jay. I can't wait. I'm actually a face now. I'm going to be face for the foreseeable future, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, see, because now you already know because I already slammed it. No pun intended. In your head about all the reasons why you should turn face. But all the stuff that built up to it, people were getting behind Fisk. In your feuds, people wanted to see you win over other people. Whether it be Amir, whether it be the Great D, whoever. And just also, Fisk, not trying to feed your ego, but it's a very it's a cool gimmick.
Yeah.
So people like to cheer for Fisk. So it was only natural that you would have to turn face. It's like Brock Lesnar right now. Brock Lesnar, great heel. And he's obviously, and I'm not saying you're a better heel or face or whatever, but Brock, for sure, is a better heel than he is a face. But Brock was getting cheered. Brock was like, he's cool. Everyone was like, yeah, Brock Lesnar. You had to turn Brock Lesnar face because of that. The same reason Fisk had to turn face, because it was getting to a point where Fisk was getting really popular, and you just have to eventually do it. Could you turn heel down the line? Sure, but right now you got to be face.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to be drastically changing anything. It's going to be the Punisher, but they're cheering for him now instead of booing him. Exactly. I am going to add in some things, like I'm going to be bringing the Kill Fist Kill Champ back that Cash originated. But I'm not going to, I'm not randomly going to come out and start doing the worm and call it the Floppy Fisk. Sorry, Goonie. Maybe I'll do it at the house shows.
Oh.
Get the big pop.
And nor should you change much about Fisk.
I shouldn't, because you use the Brock thing, and the Fisk gimmick as a face, I think if you want to describe it, would be Brock Lesnar if he could cut a good promo. In other words, Kevin fucking Owens.
Yeah.
Because people say I do have a really low self-esteem, and I do really don't give myself enough credit. But deep down, I know I'm fucking good, and I know I can cut a good promo, and I think as a face, I think I can do some really good shit.
Oh yeah, it creates so much more for you to do, and and I'm sure we're gonna see that down the line. Right now, you have a feud with Jay, which I know you and Jay have known about for a little while now, a couple months, and it's gonna be a fun feud, and I mean, I'm sure you're already seeing it. I mean, you'll see more because the feud just started to happen. This last Battleground was when the first interaction really between you guys for the feud.
He was my 7 Deadly Sins partner, and he hit me with a pipe.
I know.
He's dead to me.
I know. But you're going to see that feuding, doing a feud with a friend of yours. Oh, it's fun. I have that experience when I feud with Cash, with my feud with Caleb Blair, which many people they love the whole Shawn Walsh and Caleb Blair thing because we're friends. With Fisk and you feud with Amir and Greg D, and that's not to say you don't like these guys, but they're not your friends. Not who you go and talk to on Skype or whatnot.
Yep.
So feuding with friends is just, which is why maybe you and Nitro worked. And that was even early on. Now, you talked about how a lot of people know about your very, very low self-esteem. And a lot of people have their opinions. And you've seen at least just about every one of these. I don't know if you've seen them all of the Shawn Walsh show. And you've seen a good amount, at the very least. And usually, when I do the name association, I bring up you, and a lot of people have the same but some strong opinions on you. So now, I'm going to give you the floor to address what these people have said, whether you agree, whether you disagree, and whatever. So go ahead.
Because I remember a couple months ago, the big thing was I wasn't, according to them, expressing my opinion the way I would like to on Ask FM or just in Skype calls and stuff. And in a way, they were right, because I was in some ways afraid to speak out. But in other ways, it was a thing of, and you know this, my opinion can change. And I was having a lot of changing opinions on what was going on with COH at the time. Because I remember I was getting this around the time Goonie turned heel. And I got a question, thoughts on the Goonie heel turn, and I was like, it was shocking, I liked it, I'm interested to see where it was going, but basically everyone was giving it shit. And I was really the one person that said I enjoyed it. And if I was asked that question 2-3 weeks later, I would have said no. But now, but back then it was a thing of changing opinion. So yeah, it is. I do have very low self-confidence. I do have very low self-esteem, and it can show. But I'm trying to get better with it in both my real life and here. It's just a work in progress, but it's just things I can't help, and it's just things I'm just trying to improve on.
I mean, you're going to get better over time. It's an adjustment, and I can attest that it's better than it was, say, in October. But I've told you this before. Going to Travis and going to say, hey, I don't like this, or I have this idea. I mean, you do it more, and you've done it recently, which very happy that you have. But in the past, you would. It's almost like you were scared to do so. And the thing is, Travis is not a scary guy. I met the guy. He's not a scary guy. He will listen. And I think you know that now. But you can speak up. Give your opinions, and even if it's not always the most popular one, because sometimes you tend to see what you tend to see what other people say, and then you form that opinion. Which I don't know if that's just because maybe they change your mind, and it's just circumstantial, but sometimes it comes off that like you jump the bandwagon. Which is why I know in the past we've called you a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Speak for yourself. Let your own mind go. Have your own opinions. If we change your mind, then yeah, that's a different story. But don't just because 5 people think this doesn't mean you have to. Maybe later you might. But if you think differently,
And yeah, I did have in a way differing opinions from the rest, but. Even recently, like, I was asked a couple of days ago about the newest Battleground. And that was a show that a lot of people seemed to really like, and I flat out said that I thought it was just an okay episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like some things that were going on. I'm not a fan of the Psycho Dragons team at the current moment. And just a lot of things that were like, hey, well, why do you feel this way? And I explained it, and I think that's at least what, because Travis liked all those posts. And I think that was just something people finally wanted to see from me. And with Battleground and why people are calling it the B show now, I can see where they're coming from. But at the same time, Slam had to get all of its storylines going because they had a CPV to build for. We didn't.
Yeah, but also we have more.
You do have more star power, yes. But we haven't really kicked off our storylines yet. So I think in the coming weeks, the shows will start looking a bit more even. At least that's what I think. If not, then we might need to do some trades.
Some trades. Maybe.
Triple H going to SmackDown and then going to Raw again.
Maybe. You could probably take a couple of guys, A couple I don't want. Now, with all that, let's go to a couple fan-submitted questions.
Ooh.
Where did the Fisk name come from? Was it the Daredevil comic rival?
You're goddamn right it was. That's where I got that from. The Kingpin has always been one of my favorite Marvel villains. Back from the old Spider-Man show from the 90s, and I just thought, I like this last name, I'm going to use it. And originally, the gimmick had a first name, which I used for about a show, and I don't even remember what it was. But I just stuck with Fisk. And I think it fits. And the Punisher name is also from a Marvel character, but I take my influences from things I like, and it shows.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I think we kind of answered this earlier, but it was like, what are your inspirations behind ECF?
Inspirations? Yeah. It was just really based on, I just wanted to start my own cause show. And I just wanted to give it an extreme type feel, and everything just folded into place from there. I
Are you
really
a fan
don't have
of ECW?
Yeah. Like, I'll watch, like, the rise and fall of ECW, and that's my favorite wrestling DVD of all time. Because I love that stuff. I don't watch it as much, but the stuff I've seen, I fucking love.
So you like hardcore wrestling?
I love hardcore wrestling. I love the hardcore title. I wish that thing would fucking come back, but it can't because it's PG.
It's not coming back.
And I love my hardcore division. I love hardcore wrestling. I just love that shit. So I just wanted to make a fat out of it. Okay,
alright. Now, I have a couple of questions here that, in all are basically address the same thing, which I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Woohoo.
So what?
I can guess.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just ask all of these. One of them, well, this one's a little bit different. Is it possible that Fisk has a homosexual brother named Brisk? It's a little corny of a question, but...
Is it... Steven, is this you?
No, no name was left for this question.
Oh, okay, because... Well, I mean, to answer your question, no. But, I remember when the Fisk Iced Tea thing was made, which is one of the greatest things to ever come out of my gimmick, I think I remember you telling me this story, like, something about Brisk, and then Steven, our friend, who, is the most glorious and majestic human being I've ever spoken to in my life. He was like, what the hell is that? Is that just Fisk's, like, twin brother or something? And then you made...
yeah, because he didn't know what Brisk was.
Fisk Iced Tea.
I made it.
Fisk is he doesn't have them brothers.
He doesn't have those brothers.
Nah.
Alright, what the... Now my phone is frozen. That's wonderful. But luckily I can still see the questions. Alright, okay. One of them is... Oh, now my phone's restarting, but I remember the questions. What is your relationship with that Shawn Walsh guy? And they said it was a little weird. And then one was about, are you dating Shawn Walsh now?
Ooh. See, first off, I want to address the last one. It's a little weird. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a gay couple, sir. I'm gonna have to, lecture you.
And Mr. LGBT right here.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I am a pretty big supporter of LGBT rights if you've ever gone on my goddamn Facebook or talked to me. And it's just something I've become passionate about over the last really in the last year, due to a lot of close friends I have who are in, part of the community. And it's just become something I'm really passionate about. And when people say homophobic shit, I legit get pissed off because it affects me on a personal level. Now, onto this relationship thing. That's funny. It's a rumor that I keep seeing, like, when I'm looking through the call sheets. I'm like, Shawn Walsh and Fisk in a relationship. I'm like, what? But then I remembered, I don't know if you remember this or not, but there was, I have a story I remember of why I think they're getting this. The call sheets. You might want to, sit back for this one.
All right.
It was at a, at the end of a house show. I was still Pride champ, and you were, you were the tag champs. And I remember I lost by DQ.
Of course.
'Cause, I got upset. But I was upset backstage. I had a few drinks in me, because, Fisk is a wild partier.
Mm-hmm.
Getting drunk off that Fisk Iced Tea.
Right.
Now you walk in, and you also have a few alcoholic beverages consumed.
That screams Shawn Walsh.
Yeah, but for some reason, because you are under the influence, you come in as sexual vanilla.
My alter ego.
Yeah, so you come in and you're wearing a towel, and you're like, "What's wrong, Fiskin bastard?" And I'm like, "Sacco, why are you wearing that fucking towel?" And I'm just, telling you, like, I'm all drunk, like, oh, I lost, I'm a waste. And you're like, shh, you're no waste. And then you just start, like, slowly massaging my shoulders. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And, you know, it just keeps getting, you know, more and more into it. And you're like, you know, you're a champ. I'm a champ. I'll be your champ. And then you stick, the sock dick in my, dark void.
Mm.
And then it's just, you know, it's just, you know, very, it's like we're watching a hardcore title match backstage. We're going at, clearly none of us know what the fuck is going on, but we're going at it. And then Sonny walks in. He's like, oh, is that a Pride title match? I want in on this. And he jumps in.
What?
You know, he gets in. He's unaware that this is a sex act going on.
Right.
So it's all three of us. And then, Patriot comes in.
What?
And Patriot, you know, he's not a fan of the homosexuals.
No.
So he's like, I had enough of this faggot shit. And then he puts Sonny in the Patriot lock. And he's going, oh, but he's also climaxing at the same time. Now, I am blacked out at this time. So now it's just you and Sonny going at it.
What?
And Patriot is trying to end it. Then Travis walks in, and he suspends everyone without pay for a couple days. And then he posted it on the COH fan page.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know, that must have leaked to the cause sheets or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny really wanted the title.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. That's an interesting story you have there, kid.
Story, yeah. I don't know. I was told this, you know, when I awoke from my wild night by one June DeYoung, that apparently this was going on. It was news to me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I can see it going on. I guess we're weird when we have a couple drinks in us.
Yeah. That's something, all right.
That hard apple juice, you know.
Now, I asked this because I kind of really don't remember. Because for people who aren't aware, and if you aren't aware, obviously you're not on Ask FM or in Skype calls. This is because I would go and write on Ask FM things that would suggest a homosexual relationship.
Would? You still fucking do.
I did on Ask. Okay, I don't do it as much as I used to on Ask.
No, but you still do it. Like every time Nitro says something, you're like, oh.
Well, he better not touch my man. Tell that Aussie to get the fuck out of here. And it was. I did it on Skype. I think I did it as a. If I remember correctly, I did it as a rib.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember. Was there a reason why? Or was it just because I felt like fucking with you?
I don't know. I think you just did it and it just kind of stuck from there. But I don't know. At first I was like no, but then recently I've been going like really gay with it too.
Yes, you have.
Because I only do it when Carol's in the call because it's fucking hilarious his reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll like start throwing up. And then I'll just start flirting with everyone. It's just, it's awful.
Yeah,
don't get into a Skype call with us. We're very weird people.
Yeah, you know,
it's just me for the most part, but you know, it's just no one wants to talk to this guy. It's weird.
Well, you know, put your sex suit on and maybe we will.
No.
I did. I found it funny. Everyone did. I would go miles with it because it would be so funny, and you were so like repulsed to it, and you were so like against it, and you were like, ugh. And it took you a while. And I remember at times you were legitimately not happy with it.
No, I legit thought you had a crush going on, and you better watch with them damn Facebook messages, because if I ever get into an argument with Lady Fisk because she sees a message from a certain Shawn Walsh saying things, we're gonna have to settle it in the ring.
I'll tell Lady Fisk you can deal with me in the ring.
Breaking coffee, we're gonna have to settle it in the ring.
I'll kick her ass. You'll put it in the sharpshooter. But yeah, you were. I remember you were legitimately mad that, and when there were times where we would get into like little arguments. Sometimes you would use that and you're like, oh, you do all this gay stuff, and I'm like, it's a fucking joke. Calm the fuck down. Jesus, can't you take a fucking joke? It's a rib. And, and then that caused me, when you would get mad about it, to just make me do it more, because it's fun that way, because then I saw you didn't like it, so I did it more.
I like my ribs, in baby back, covered in barbecue sauce.
Delicious.
I ate with you that night. It was great.
It was great. But, then, obviously, you caught on, you started doing the rib, and I guess you weren't so against it, and it carried on to where it was just a Skype thing, which when people who were not typically in the everyday Skype calls would hear that, they were quite thrown off by it.
I can imagine.
They were wondering what is going on. I mean, now it's kind of like everyone is like kind of knows like that it's what the joke is. But at first, like, what the fuck is this? And it took some people a little bit of adjustment. And then it got all over Ask FM, because it was really just supposed to be a Skype thing. But I think I just started to send things in your ass just to screw with you.
Those trolls, they believe these rumors.
It's funny because people are so they're so stupid, and
I love this group of trolls you're getting so far that just seem to be like the worst group of people on earth right now.
Oh yeah, my best friends.
Racist, homophobic, misogynistic, like all this wonderful shit.
Oh yeah, those guys that would they would say all these things about me, wish cancer on me. That's a classic one.
Right. I mean, it's 2015. Get with the times.
Uh-huh. And they say these things, and then I remember when they would see things, they'd be like, they would call, whether it be me or you, like a faggot or whatever, and then I'm like...
Every time someone just says that to me on Ask, I'm like, it's 2015, bruh.
I find it funny.
You're using the word faggot as an insult in 2015. Get out.
I find it so funny, and
I think my favorite thing with those is I answer extremely politically correct, and I just ruin the fun. I love it so much.
I respond. It depends on the mood I'm in. Like, if I'm just in a really jokester mood, I might just go with it. I might get some response, or I might just be, or if I get a bunch of questions like that, I'll answer some jokingly, and then eventually I'll be like, all right, guys, chill. But people are fun, especially the stupid ones. They're something else. So, that was that. So that answers that whole situation. Now, alright. Now, I saved this for later because I'm biased. See, I did a swerve. Everyone thought the main event was going to be COH. Nah, it's the AWF. Oh, shit. And then we're going to get back to ECF.
About the off.
So, for the AWF, you came in as Fisk, which we mentioned earlier. I had asked you to come in as Fisk, because you're scared, you don't want to talk to people.
Yes, sir. You did indeed ask me.
See, sir. See what I teach the kid? Respect right there.
Respect my ass.
Oh, I do respect your ass. See? It's so easy. So you came into the AWF. I wanted to bring you in as Fisk. And because obviously I had an idea for you with the Disciples, which is the current storyline you're in right now. And I brought you in technically as a quote-unquote heel, but you were face in a couple weeks anyway, because that was the plan. And like you said earlier, that was the test of waters as a face Fisk. And I think, again, I'm biased because my show, I think it's worked out pretty well with this feud where you feud against the Disciples and Victor Heaven, which, if you don't know Victor Heaven, he's voiced by that Steve guy. I don't know if anyone's heard about him. That Steve guy. You know, I think he goes and he wears, like, face paint and he, like, has an eradication group in some show. I don't know. But, yeah. So what are your thoughts on your time thus far in the American Wrestling Federation?
Gimmick in a good way.
Hey, go back because I didn't hear you at first. You cut out.
I've really enjoyed it because, like, you brought in my gimmick in a way that I thought really worked. Because technically, I'm a rookie, but at the same time, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm brought in, I'm a part of the storyline. I get to work with, Steve and doing a lot of good things. I'm enjoying the feud. Now we got a Extreme Championship for it. I'm really enjoying it. I like that. This is really, it really was the first Fed where Fisk was a face, because COH, just turned. With ECF, I think Fisk will always stay heel, unless I run out of things to do with him as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
With AWF, cool, I get to be a face, and I've enjoyed it. And spoilers, I've also had the opportunity to voice some, well, not really spoilers, but breaking the kayfabe here, to voice a other pretty big guy in the show. So that's fun, even though you never had me cut a promo for him.
Well, and I've explained to you as to why, though. Like, in case you don't know who we're talking about this guy named Ian Morgan, formerly known as Europe. Ian Morgan, the thing is, he doesn't talk every week because a lot of times he has Shane Walsh talk for him, and he does his stuff. And I told you, Ian Morgan will talk. He will. Hopefully, it's not like the first time where your
this is all
like
just
shit.
An excuse for me fucking up the first one and making his voice sound way too deep. You said like 4, and I made it like 40.
You made it way too deep. He sounded like Darth Vader. And then it was all sounding all weird and shit and hurt my ears. And yeah, so don't do that again. And so, but Ian Morgan, he will speak when the time is right. Maybe soon, you never know. Ian Morgan, he has a lot of things going on right now. Maybe he needs to pick up the mic. You'll have to stay tuned to AWF Uprising to see what happens.
But as for Fisk, I'm enjoying it. Look forward to what's coming, and I'm winning that fucking belt.
Oh, you're gonna win that belt now, huh?
And I know a few storylines I'll be involved with, and let's just say it's gonna be can't miss television. Because anything can happen in the American Wrestling Federation.
Philip and Terry says that every week. Good guy. So let's talk about some things with the AWF, because I know I like talking to you about it because I get it from a fan's perspective. Like, I talk with like guys like AJ and Carol, I guess. But that's more from like a booker standpoint. They know more. And we talk from like all that kinds of stuff. I typically go to you and Adam for like, and other people for like from a fan perspective. So, and what and I ask you because I kind of know, but I also like to feed my own ego. What are your thoughts on this whole, what this season has been thus far since Glory Days till now?
I'm liking it. There have been some things that I have called, some things that I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
The last Uprising you did is probably in your top 5 best shows you've ever done. At least endings of shows. Because you, I tell you all the time to make another goddamn AWF top 10. And if you do one for debuts or heel turns, whatever, the thing with Alex should be in the top 3 for each list.
Well, when it comes to a top 10, I may or may not be working on a top 10. I just gotta get 10 clips. So, stay tuned for that. But,
yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm liking, the stuff with Danny Hardy. I think Sean Riley's been a pretty good champ. I'm liking the Geddes and Hitman shit quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Liking my stuff. I'm gonna like the stuff with Alex because I know some of the stuff he's gonna be doing.
You know some, but you don't know all.
It's been a good season. I liked the way you did the draft. Glory Days was a really good CPV.
Yeah.
Although I don't like that Uncle Shane guy. He cursed me out on Facebook, so I reported his account.
You reported the Shane Walsh account, which Shane did not like very much.
No, he had to do a survey or something.
I got an earful at the conference call that morning. Oh, it was terrible. We almost got nothing done because of you, this punk kid. Yeah.
Although, if I were to say one thing about it that I'm not really a big fan of necessarily, on Superstar Mayhem you have the Dynasty stable right now.
Correct.
I think the way you formed that could have been better. Because it just felt like just randomly one week they were together. Because, yeah, you had Hitman and AJ have that loose alliance previously.
Mm-hmm.
But then you just have Hitman and the Young Wonders come out the next week and be like, yeah, stable though.
Well, yeah.
And then, like, Rich and Famous now, and I don't know. I think it could have been handled better, but it's good for what it is.
Okay, alright. Yeah, some interesting stuff going on, though. Some stuff you guys will have to wait and see. Some stuff involving Fisk and Ian Morgan, so stay tuned for that. And there's other guys, whether it be Geddes, whether it be Alex, who both have recently come aboard. Can't miss stuff.
Oh, and how could I forget? Travis, the best fucking part of your show.
Travis got some good stuff.
He fucking super kicked Santa.
He did. Oh, that's great.
Nitro, though. It's like, oh, who do I root for?
You have to choose. But I don't know. I don't know. You'll see in his next promo. Maybe a little easier. When you'll see that in the Mayhem. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this Ray Geddes and Ben Hitman feud? That it's an AWF feud and it's other places as well. Because Ray Geddes is a lot of places.
Well, I mean, when you made this, it's been clear as day to me that this is obviously to build up for a match at Call All Stars 7. But I like how you have incorporated it into your own show, and you're really just not making it just for Call All Stars, because you're promoting it on the AWF. Well, you'll have, like, Hitman go on a radio show and talk about Ray, or Ray Geddes interrupt the show and cut a promo on Hitman. And it wasn't until recently where Ray Geddes actually showed up on AWF programming.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it looks as though he's going to be a part of your roster, I mean, considering he's on the banner on the Facebook page, so, I think Ray would be joining. I think Ray's going to be a good addition to Mayhem. I think this feud with Hitman's going to be good, because it's like you got two sides of Ray Geddes. I mean, on COH, he's the top heel of Slam, and then on AWF, he's going to be one of the top faces of Superstar Mayhem. So that's going to be interesting.
Interesting.
Watch one show where a guy's a top heel, and then watch another one he's the top face.
It's a fun gig. I don't necessarily get to be a top heel elsewhere. I get to be a heel. I get to be a face in your show, though. It's fun.
Sean Walsh doesn't draw enough to be a top heel on the show, sorry. Except that New Jersey show.
You know what? A lot of people like to put me in charge, What can I say? You've done it.
Me included.
Yeah. And we're gonna get to naming association in about a couple minutes here, but let's talk about it in a perspective standpoint. From let's look from Andrew. I'd say maybe a year or so ago to Andrew now. There's a lot of change.
Yeah.
And, it's like, and it's changed for the good. And, there's, a lot of people will give me the credit for that, but I mean, obviously it has to be within the person to do it, to be able to get that change and grow and become better. Like, obviously I wasn't going to go to Shart. Shart wasn't going to make the changes,
I'll be a bitch.
Yeah. So, obviously, for me, giving myself credit, from what I saw in a young, very stupid Andrew.
A young buck?
Don't use those words. Young buck. Oh my god. I don't like young bucks. I took you under my wing, and I brought you along, and brought you along with what you have caused, and many of headaches.
Oi, yeah.
And I'm sure if you look back and you were what you know now, and you'd probably have those same headaches.
Yeah. I've done some dumb shit.
You were a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yep. There were multiple times where there were conversations within the group of whether or not I should be kicked. There were a couple times where I almost kicked myself from the group.
Yeah. There were some times where it was
Things have gotten pretty heated.
Mm-hmm.
And half the time, me doing some dumb shit. And it's not like, breaking the law type of shit. It's just me being stupid.
Yes.
Or me not fighting back. Things like that a lot of stuff I really don't want to get into because I feel like it's something that people really shouldn't, know about if it's past drama that isn't even a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I won't take specific examples, but, people have gotten mad at me, I've gotten mad at people. But for the most part, I think that's pretty much a non-factor anymore.
It doesn't happen nearly as much anyway.
Now people get mad at me, it's because I don't fucking get on. Not because I, said some dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it changes, you all the stuff you had to go through, all that stuff, and I will always say it because it's a just a wonderful story, and you've heard it to death. Because I always tell you it. But I always compare this last year or so to my early days. Cause some people know, and I'm sure when I get asked stuff on mine next week, you'll hear more, cause I'll go more in depth about it. I wasn't always in this position, and I didn't always know. Of course, then I was 11. And I did some stupid things, and my show was bad, and I was laughed at or made fun of or whatever, and I learned, and I became what I am today, to where I'm very, at least I'd like to believe, pretty highly respected, and pretty well liked, and my opinion is very much trusted. People like to ask me for their opinions. People think I have good ideas, which I do, and cool stuff. And for me, I always saw that in you, so that's why I stuck with you for the long haul, and it worked. Because I remember I messaged you sometime last year. I don't remember when. It was in the spring, and I said something like, I was asking you how old you were, and I saw that you were younger.
Right there.
Huh?
Creepy question, by the way. We had barely talked. How old are you?
I was looking for the next generation. Okay.
Because originally, when you brought me in, I think it was something to do with Call All Stars.
Yeah, I really only talked to you for Call All Star stuff.
And then that changed, and I just, started joining more and more calls, and eventually became part of the group, and became friends with a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fun.
It's been
except
fun.
Except Carol. Carol's a person.
I don't want to talk about Carol. But it was funny because I told you, oh, you're my protege now, and I remember I wasn't in this call, but I was told by someone. I think it might have been Cash. I don't know. Someone told me that you were in some group call, and you were like, oh, I guess I'm Saku's protege now. And you had no idea. I don't even think I knew what that meant at the time, but you had no idea what it meant. You thought it was like some kind of like silly thing, and then boom, look what happened.
Yeah. Just thinking about it now, I think the reason why there was that period of probably about 3-4 months where I was just non-stop dumb kid. And then that really stopped around the time where my life started turning around. And then back in around February to April, I was going through, there were just some awful events in my personal life that were just making me just a miserable person.
Yes.
And at that time I started relapsing.
Yes, you did.
And I remember, because I went back and listened to parts of Jay's interview a couple days ago, and there was a quote around that time, and I remember him saying he's been doing some stupid shit again recently. I'm like, yeah, that might be it, because ever since April, I can't recall a single time I've done anything remotely like the old me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might have something to do with that. But who knows? I mean, the old me is the old me. I feel like I'm a better person, both personal-wise and call-wise.
You are?
Because this time last year... Well, I won't say this time last year, because this time last year I was Pride Champ. But, like, February of last year, I still had that perspective of a fan first, and then a, person in the show second. Because I was still like, oh, it's so surreal, I'm working with, Steve and Alex and all these guys, and Travis.
You saw them all as celebrities.
Yeah, I did, but now I'm one of the guys. And
boys.
I like that, one of the faces of Battleground.
I'm one of the half faces. We only get to see half your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, all that has changed. You know what... I think you know this, but when it comes to getting you on Skype, what everyone always says, hey Sako, get your kid on.
Yeah.
It's funny. Because I think it's also weird that while I did gay jokes, I've also done jokes of
son jokes.
Exactly. Cuz the thing with me and Jay, Sonny was his kid. You were mine.
Mm-hmm.
So people would be like, "Oh, get your kid."
I just thought of that.
It's weird.
An Asian man gave birth to a Muslim boy.
I know. Doesn't sound right.
Well, I mean, he didn't give birth.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Jay's partner was Islamic.
Maybe. It's weird because people got used to that. And then whenever you do anything wrong or you do something that people question, everyone comes to me. Taco, do this to fix your kid. I'm like, okay. But it doesn't happen as much anymore because you got a good grasp on that. But we already all know that. So now let's get to the fun. Name the association.
Finally, we've been going for 2 goddamn hours.
I'm sorry, but you went and you started telling books earlier.
Well, it's the tell-all.
Tell-all.
Yeah. Controversy creates cash.
Controversy is...
I haven't let out any controversial opinions yet. Now I think I can start letting them out.
Oh, you're allowed some controversial opinions
now. That's my gimmick.
I think I've taken that from you.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Alright, let's start it off with, a Junda Young.
A Junda Young. Oof. I mean, it's really hard to see him sometimes.
Yeah, he's hard to see.
And, like, he's got this problem with, like, electric bills and, like, buying 8 dinners at IHOP and stuff. But
narcolepsy.
Yeah, and he falls asleep a lot in calls. Especially when his ringtone's going off and he's snoring to the beat of it.
Yeah.
I still have on my computer.
Young snores.
Yeah. But, AJ's a great guy. Definitely one of my best friends on here. You can really go to him for advice a lot. Especially since he's, like, near our age. Because he's only about a year older than me, I think.
No, not even. He's only about, like... he's only, like, 13 days or so older than me. So for you, he's about the same difference with me and you. He's only a little bit older.
Goddamn graduate, and I still got a year left. Fucking...
He started early.
You know, black man in a white Connecticut suburb, like, no. But, great guy. Wish him the best of luck in college. Don't leave us, though. I need a Junda Young in my life.
You need your daily dose of Junda?
Need my daily dose of Junda, yes.
Well, what about the guy that you recently, the other day, called Rajunda?
Oh, we don't like to talk. No, that never happened.
That being Ray Geddes. Yes, you heard it here. Andrew called Ray...
I meant to say Ray Gunda. It came out wrong.
You called him Rajunda, and he was like, what the fuck? What the fuck did you just call me?
Ray's a great guy. I'm really glad that we got to start talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got great fucking promos. Because I remember, like, early last year, I remember seeing this raging redneck guy post on all these pages, and he sent me a friend request and stuff. And he occasionally would message me like, hey, great promo on the last episode. I was like, thanks. Didn't really know who he was. And then he started cutting these promos on the COH page, and they were fucking phenomenal. And, I mean, he's one of those guys where, yeah, it could be argued, should he be pushed to the main event this early? But it's worth it, because he's got all the talent in the world. His fans are a little... But Ray's a great guy. I really admire him because I know he's gone through a lot of struggles in his life. And I just really admire that. And I just... Great guy. He's old, though. Ooh, didn't think he was that old.
Oh, you...
He's like mid-30s. I was like, holy shit. I found it really funny, though, because like, we were talking about, I think, like, prom one time. And he was, like, talking about how, like, his daughter's prom is coming up. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it is weird. Now I'm gonna get messaged by Ray, and he's gonna be like, this son of a bitch called me old.
Well, you know, we can settle it in the ring. Get us.
Oh, God.
Punisher versus Redneck, you know. People want to see it.
That sounds...
All Stars 8, book it.
That sounds like a porno. I want to bundle them up together.
Although, wait, one more thing. Take that goddamn Confederate flag down. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. I'm going to put these guys together. Rap metal.
The Boston Cream.
Oh, yeah.
They're a group of characters. You know, I mean, Levi's a guy that, you know, he really likes metal, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Every Skype call I'm in, he brings it up. Every Facebook post, he talks about his top 10 bands.
Alright, guys.
1987.
It's time for another top 10 metal groups. Okay, here we go.
And, you know, I remember, funny story about Levi. I remember, like, I think this time last year, he would always bring up in a call, guys, I think I'm going to do another gimmick where I'll wear a mask and I talk in a weird sounding voice, and he'd, like, screen share and, like, look at Matt. I think I'm going to buy this one. I don't know where I could use this, but I want to do this gimmick. And he'd cut promos on us in this voice. I'm like, Levi, what are you doing?
Oh,
and Austin, I didn't think he was that young. Holy shit.
Austin is younger than you.
He just turned 16. I was like, geez, I thought he was my age, but he's a youngin'.
I always thought you were the baby of COH, but it turns out it was him.
Like, I like rap metal. Rap metal. Holy shit.
Rap metal?
Yeah, rap metal.
Rap metal.
I like rap metal. Good team. They gel well together. I like both guys, but they both do some dumb shit. When Austin was going on and on about, like, you know, his excuse was, you know, I have a life. You know, I'm getting pussy. I don't have time for CAW. It's like, and like, I have work and all this stuff. It's like, I have both of those things. I still do CAW. Jay has work. Jay does CAW. Fucking, if you want to do the girlfriend logic, Steve has one. He's one of the most dedicated people in CAW.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that I really didn't like and I got mad at. But they're both good guys. I can tell both of them like me as well. I don't really have any issues with them. When you guys were having your beef, I was always trying to remain neutral in the situation. But I will admit, they do some dumb shit. But hopefully that's all dead and gone now, and, you know, I wish them the best.
Okay, alright.
Fun to play cards with, too.
Yeah. Alright, let's do Caleb Blair, Cash, or 2C3, Corey Chambers.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know, some guy who's a light heavyweight who does a pounce.
See, I have some thoughts on Cash, but I thought people would steal it, so I deleted him from my mind.
Oh my god.
So, sorry, I move on.
Move on?
I think I should tell this story. See, so Cash cut a promo for me, and he was like, "Oh, I thought someone was gonna steal it, so I deleted it off my camera because he thought someone was gonna use it for another show." Keep in mind he was stoned, bros. So you know. Cash is always someone I've really enjoyed talking to. One of the first people to ever really get behind the Fisk gimmick. He's been a great friend.
Yeah, beat me.
I've always been one to defend him whenever there were lingering issues between him and members of, you know, the BDC.
Beat down.
And now that, I don't know, he seems to be in calls more often now, so that's nice. And Caleb Blair is just a great fucking gimmick. And 2C3 is a really fun gimmick as well. So, you know, yeah, but, you know, stop deleting promos.
Yeah, don't do that. That's bad. This is a new one. I've never asked this one before. Brandon Wolf.
Underrated. Under-fucking-rated. I like, and Travis shares the same thing, I like Brandon Wolf a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think with promos, he could use a little work at times, but he's getting there. I think he could be a major player. I'm bringing him in. I have some plans for him. I'm gonna, you know, make him an underdog. And I think Brandon Wolf in COH or anywhere could actually be a pretty good solo guy. Especially, you know, I didn't like the whole autistic werewolf name, and I'm glad he dropped that.
Yeah.
But I mean he does have autism, and you know the fact that he's still cutting these promos, and you know he seems really into it, and he's a really nice guy. Right. So, I mean, just he's a great guy. I hope he does really good.
Absolutely. Now here's a guy that if I don't mention his name, I'm gonna get a earful full of it. So I figure I should bring it up now. That being Adam Jackpot Canyon Phoenix, Mr. Scoop Slam through a table himself to finally win his first title.
Fuck him. Fuck this goddamn AJ Lee, Harley Quinn, Fantasy Caw, fucking Jigaboo, okay?
Jigaboo.
Okay. This guy, every fucking day comes in, when are you gonna do commentary? I'm like, okay, when are you gonna do commentary for my show? And then he's like, oh, my show comes first. And then he, you know, buries the shit out of my roster on commentary. Fucking, doesn't eat Jay's cookie, he throws it away.
I know, he's still a terrible human for that.
You know, likes to brag about getting assaulted in a potential storyline.
Yeah.
You know, just yeah. He's an all around piece of shit. And yeah, total lie. Adam is probably besides you, probably my closest friend on here.
Oh.
I have probably the most in common with Adam than I have with anyone else in the group, except for the fact that he thinks my favorite movie of all time is overrated, so go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Adam, great guy. Definitely, I mean, everyone says that, Adam is the most underrated guy in CAW, but I don't think you can really say that anymore. Because Phoenix is finally getting, the attention he deserves. He's got a major spot on COH now. I somehow am still the first show to ever give Adam a championship, besides YWF, but, he doesn't consider that to be his gimmick. So, first show to give him the title, and, I put on my website in the call sheets, like, Phoenix was given the hardcore title because we were shocked that no Fed has ever given Adam a title, and that's kind of half true. I wanted to be the first show too, and when Carol was talking about CWG, it was like, oh, I want to make Adam my world champ, and I beat him to it.
You did,
so
yeah.
I feel good about being the first person to put a belt on Adam. Definitely one of the most creative minds in CAW, because whether he has good ideas or bad ideas, he always has some form of idea.
True.
And he's like that gap between the original and the Fantasy Feds.
That is very true.
Which I do like. He actually kind of turned me on to Fantasy Con a bit, because, before I wasn't a fan. But now I actually kind of like it commentating NJCW, because that's some of the most fun shit I've ever fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get to be an asshole, which is great. Yeah, Adam's a great guy, great friend, but stop. AJ Lee, she's retired.
She's retired,
yeah. He does. I hear he does pretty good impressions.
Yeah.
His brother's dead.
Oh dear God. Oh.
Oh, and yeah, Conor the Crusher's dead.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Death. Oh.
Oh, but never be in a Skype call with him when he's high, because it's like the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
It's worse than Cash.
Alright, worse than Cash. Carol.
Something about like a citation or something? I don't know.
Something like that.
I mean, jeez. I'm not sure. Or something about like a side bitch?
Side bitch.
I've
heard that kind of stuff.
In the words of Scott Steiner, he's fat.
Sure.
And he listens to shitty rap music. But I don't really have any negative to say about Carol, aside from the fact that, whenever it's time to criticize me, he's always one of the harsher critics. But, I gave him a belt, so I demand the respect.
You demand the respect?
He gave me that respect. Although he was like, meet the champ, me get cheered, and I'm like, yeah, I'll cheer you alright.
Mm-hmm. Pain in the ass to get promos from, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think Carol never cuts promos on the show. It's because, why do you think the shows get delayed by a month?
Ouch.
Sad news, Carol.
Sad news, Carol.
I'm afraid I've got some sad news.
Alright.
Oh, Travis name dropped Bad News Carol on Guerrilla Warfare. I was like, I love you, Travis.
He did. Speaking of which, the almighty Travis Sparks.
The last 4 words I said can be described. Travis is like the chillest motherfucker on here. He is an absolute riot in Skype calls.
Yeah, that he
when
is.
He goes on and on about Carol, it is legit the funniest shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
Great character in AWF. I'm surprised CWS is the only show to ever give that guy a world title. Because, God, Travis is one of the... Well, actually, no, YWF did too. but I mean that was a mid-card title when he won it, and then they elevated it to a world title, so I don't know if that really counts. But great guy, great guy personally. COH is my favorite cause show I've ever been a part of. And, there's been some good times and some bad times at COH, but overall, it's the show I still look forward to the most, the show I put effort into the most, and I gotta commend Travis for keeping it up all these years. If it is indeed the last season, then god damn it, make it one hell of a good one.
Alright. Jay.
Ooh. Jay. Like a lot of the stuff I said about AJ, you can really say for Jay too. Great friend, great person to get advice from, fucking hilarious. Adam needs to eat his cookies.
Yeah.
I'm really liking, him and AJ as Rush Hour in my show. But, he hit me with the bat, so, we're not friends anymore.
You mean a pipe?
No, it's the same fucking thing.
Not really. I don't see people going up to the plate going with a steel pipe.
I mean, in some really ghetto towns, you can see that. Because, they see it and they're like, it's the same fucking thing. But, he hit me with something. I don't know. I mean, it was something metallic. I mean, I was knocked out. Could be a pipe, could be a bat. I don't know. He hit me with something, though. And then, he attacked me in the YWF. I hear he likes to, he's got this odd obsession with the fucking championship belts.
Yeah.
And and hating Shannon more. But his dad needs to show him some respect, Virgil.
Yeah. His dad, it's a sad story. It really is.
Wrestling superstar.
Oh, I know. He hit you with some harsh critics, though, over last year.
Yeah, Jay is, Jay tends to, when he's, irritated with me, he tends to go a little farther than everyone else. And there have been times where it's offended me, and I wouldn't want to talk to him for a while. I think there was actually one time where I didn't go on Skype for an entire week because I didn't want to talk to Jay because he really hurt my feelings. But, 98% of the time, we are really chill. I can talk to Jay for hours. Great guy. Great guy. Just a great fucking person.
Well, he has a good formula now. Now, once you get in the call, he yells at you first, so he doesn't have to later.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to later.
It's perfect. Alright. Ooh, this guy, I know you're a very big fan of this guy. You like this guy. You met up with this guy. The Alex Enterprise.
The Buffalo Bro.
Yeah.
Alex is, without a doubt, in my opinion, the greatest person in this Shuka era. Because, like I said, his promos, you can tell he's emotionally attached to them, and you can actually feel real emotion and real power put into those promos. And when he left COH, there's still a big gaping hole that hasn't been filled by Alex leaving. Absolutely. And, if it is the end of Alex and COH, I mean, it's upsetting, but, everything happens for a reason. Thankfully, it's not the end of him and Kaw, because, he's going to be in AWF and Kaw All-Stars and maybe some other places later down in the line, but Alex is a great person to talk to. There are a lot of stuff about me and him that, very similar in terms of stuff we've had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a great fucking person and a great friend, and I'm so glad I got to meet up with him.
Indeed. Alright, I got 2 more people.
Good, you're putting me to sleep.
What?
Yeah.
I will
call me CM Punk.
I'll fucking slap you with my foot.
That's banned.
That's banned?
Yeah, curb stomp. Can't do it.
I'm not gonna crush your skull. I'm just gonna kick you in the face. See me, I'm not going to give myself the main event because, I'm all about putting other people over. So I'll save the other guy for the main event. So I'm gonna throw my name on there.
Sean Rizzy Riley. I mean, when he gets that heel turn, he's gonna get that Sheamus mohawk on, the Sheamus theme, the Irish necklace.
Never, ever, ever. No.
Yeah.
Nope. Not gonna happen.
Superface.
Superface to the end.
And I mean that Shawn Walsh guy. I mean, I hear he's an egotistical bastard. He likes to run shows. He's got a fetish for tag team championships. He keeps breaking his fucking neck every time he gets in the ring. He needs to
doesn't breathe.
He needs to see a doctor about that. I think one time he hit his head on a door or something.
Okay. I walked into a door. I was in a hurry, okay? I was late for class. Now, I'm traditionally late for class, but I was very late for class. And I hit my head.
He looks a lot like Jay fucking Briscoe. He likes to hunt. He loves
I do not like to hunt.
He loves the Confederate States of America.
I do not.
He's a fucking hick.
I am not.
He really likes elephants.
Nope.
He used to have a drawing program.
Oh my god.
He used to have a backyard fed.
Kick you right in the face.
No.
Bicycle boot you, you know.
Apparently, he really likes trains.
Nope.
And what else about this Socko guy? He named himself after a sock. I mean, how lame can you get? Socko 105. Give me a break.
You'll get a break, alright. Break you in fucking half.
He's a tag team. His favorite wrestler's brother is dead. Oh, and he's the biggest Hulkamaniac ever.
What?
He's gonna live up to, Hogan's dreams. He's gonna end up, he's gonna play with Metallica. He's gonna fuck Warrior as a heel. He's gonna have Walsh knows best.
Nope. Okay, Walsh does know best, but, no.
Tyler Rizzy and,
fuck Hulk Hogan.
Ashley Rizzy,
Nope.
Be on the show.
Hell no. Hell to the motherfucking no.
He really loves his uncle.
Yeah, that uncle that you reported, yeah.
Yeah, I had to report him to the cyber police. He was mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he lost the world title to Jay Lethal.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
And,
We fall off a bridge.
The fucking TNA mark.
I'm not a TNA mark. I like TNA, though.
And, just one last thing. It's time to rage.
Time to rage?
Yeah. Say it to my face.
You can royally fuck off.
Fuck off?
Fuck off! God. Rage. I don't even know if I should go to the main event now. I'm so hurt, I should just leave.
Brother.
Don't you dare call me brother. Hate you so much.
Brother, dude, Jack.
Since you wanted to say all those mean things about me and call me a Hulkamaniac and stuff.
Get on with it.
That Aussie Nitro. Oh.
Oh, at the Bay?
Dog, you about to get kicked in the throat.
Aside from Adam, I probably have the most in common with Nitro. Great guy. Hopefully, in the future, me and Nitro can resume our program in the COH, because some great things can come out of there.
Well, he's one of 5 people who do an open challenge, so all you gotta do is accept.
Mm-hmm. One of the best people in COH right now, and I think he is getting to the point where he should be looked at as a potential global champ by the end of the season.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, Nitro-san. I mean, heart.
Stomp your fucking face in. I'll take your blazer. So that about wraps it up. So I guess.
Oh, one more thing about that Shawn Walsh guy. He likes to pretend he's a woman and scare a shark and get dick pics. And,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shirtless pictures from Burgett.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
The one true El Novino.
So, I guess I'd like to thank you, Andrew, for coming on the Shawn Walsh Show. It's been an interesting conversation.
Pleasure is all mine. You're gonna have to split this one into parts, or no?
I don't know. I might just put it out. We'll see.
Put out. I mean, that's what one of us. That's what I was doing the other night with the. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night. And have a happy holidays. And ladies and gentlemen, that was part 2 of my interview with Fisk. Very good interview. I think it was even better than part 1, which part 1 received a lot of praise. So hopefully, I really hope that you guys enjoyed part 2. You know what this means, though, and I know this episode 20 was supposed to be the interview with me, but we got an additional episode, aka I had to split this shit up. But episode 21 and 1 will be the interview with myself. And as I pointed out on the last episode yesterday, the host for that episode will in fact be AJ Young, and you can go to AJ Young's Ask FM, which is at Ajunda Young. Go there, go send him a question, but please specify that it is for me, because AJ gets questions himself, so he's not going to know if it's for him or for me. So please specify for AJ so he knows. And time's running up, so send your questions in really quick, because I'd like to record this interview. So ask anything you want to know. You can ask, I really don't care. You can ask about this Brent, Harvinator, and Burb stuff if you would like. That's fine. I have no problem commenting on it. Although, I do not plan on commenting on it unless brought up. Otherwise, I mean, something could happen in the next week where something is said and I feel that it is appropriate to address it. But if not, I'm just going to let them do their stupid little gotcha stuff when going to not Ask FM, going on Call Wikia, site they run, and doing their own edits. Like, oh shit, you got me. You got Jay. Oh my god. It's really pathetic. So, you guys keep doing that. I don't really feel to give you guys any more relevance or anything of that matter. For my future, you guys are not in it. So, as far as I see it, unless something occurs, bye-bye, you're gone. I have no reason to comment anymore unless asked. So, if you guys are truly done like you say you are, then I would just keep quiet. But if you want, you can make those threats and those like, oh, don't poke the bear, and oh, don't mess with bourbon there. in Friends because, oh, you're not gonna win that. Really? I really don't have any doubt in my mind the result of that. Going up against Burb and whoever else, whether it's Brent Harvenator, whether it's whoever the fuck from Call Wikia. What am I? Oh, they're going to edit one of my call pages from like 3 years ago. Oh shit, I'm losing. I can't win. It doesn't matter. So, if you're truly done, then be done. But on to more important things and cooler things at that. Like I said, episode 21 is going to be hosted by AJ Young and interviewing me. So send in your questions. Also, don't forget, here on the Call All Stars YouTube channel, Redemption Road coming out later this month. Don't forget, it's going to be AJ Young defending that Call All Stars championship against CJ Hawkins. Ben Hitman's calling out Ray Geddes. Seems to be a can't miss event. I know I will certainly be watching. And also, stay tuned next week. You may get a little preview of Season 2 of the Shawn Walsh Show. Thank you all for watching, and I hope all of you, and I truly mean each and every one of you, have a wonderful day.